everyone. It's Jeff Exline. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm in the Digital Content Center with a look at your weekend forecast. A lovely looking day out there today with the sunshine. Enjoying the sunshine today. It's cold, yeah, I know, but it's sunny. Enjoy it as our weather goes downhill again for the upcoming weekend, as our weather gets a lot more active and a lot more messy over the weekend. And it will not be sunny at all this weekend. It's going to be overcast and gray, and we'll be dealing with precipitation. A lot of it in the form of rain. There can be a little bit of snow early and then later in this weekend, but a lot of what will be falling will be in the form of rain. But we'll take a look at the more opportunities for snow in our future when this forecast. A lot to talk about. Let's dive right in and show you that we are sunny indeed right now, and it's cold, no doubt about it. We saw temperatures in the teens this morning. It's kind of crazy how much colder it was this morning compared to yesterday morning. The temperature was some 30 degrees colder this morning. Remember, yesterday morning we saw a temperature early in the day around 50 degrees. This morning we saw temperatures around 17, 18 degrees this morning. Currently in Wheeling at Ohio County Airport, 24 degrees with a wind very light at 6 miles per hour, producing a wind chill of 17 right now. So it's sunny. And here's your Valentine's forecast. The sweet part about this forecast is the sunshine for today, but it is on the chilly side with high temperatures in the lower 30s this afternoon. If you're venturing out this evening for dinner, maybe you have a little dinner date, no issues whatsoever. The roads are going to be fine. Temperatures will be in the upper 20s, and we'll see an increase in cloud cover tonight. We won't see any precipitation fall until late tonight. I'm talking well after midnight into the early morning hours of Saturday before daybreak. That's when we'll see precipitation arrive. And if you've been following the weather, here's some stories about what's going on out west. They've been dealing with mudslides again in California. I mean, it just seems like they either get mudslides or drought, fires. They just get it. They get it all when the weather is going on, and they got that low pressure system moving in off the Pacific Ocean. Lots of Pacific moisture now moving in across the country. Mountain snows, heavy rains in the lowland areas, and that system will be marching across the country, and it will produce our precipitation over the weekend. So let's take you through it using our Futurecast product. Again, this afternoon, nothing but sunshine, lower 30s. Some high thin clouds will start to increase in the afternoon sky, and then it clouds up tonight. Now, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, we'll see snow break out, especially north of I-70. I don't think it's going to last too long. I think this model is holding on to the snow a little bit longer than it will actually snow. But there can be some snow around north of I-70. Watch out for little slippery conditions early in the day, mainly northern areas. Southern areas, probably not a whole lot of snow. There is the potential for a brief period of freezing rain, but I think we'll just go from snow to rain Saturday, and temperatures in the upper 30s. Now, the rain's not going to be too heavy initially. The heaviest rain will occur later Saturday night. So, in fact, there may even be a break in the rain here later in the afternoon on Saturday. There's 5 o'clock. And then that rain fills in Saturday evening. There's 9 o'clock. Heavier rain arrives later in the evening and during the overnight period, midnight. There's some heavy rain, and temperatures will rise up to around 50 degrees come Sunday morning. So, this is some wild temperature swings into the weekend. Now, watch what happens on Sunday. So we start 7 o'clock in the morning near 50, and maybe even higher. And then the afternoon, boom, the winds pick up. They'll gust to 30 miles per hour, and the snow returns to the forecast. Could see some light snow accumulations Sunday afternoon, later Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening as those temperatures fall. So be on the lookout for that. There can be some slick spots again Sunday evening. Rain, how much rain? A lot. A lot of this is in the form of rain, and we're looking at rain amounts between 1 and 2 inches, pretty common. I think what we're going to see, what's most likely is going to be 1.5 to 2 inches. So your weekend rainfall, your low end is an inch. What's likely is 1.5 to 2 inches. And at most, I think 2.5 would be at most. So that's a lot of rain. That has prompted the National Weather Service to issue flood watches for a good chunk of the area. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of those flood watches were expanded a little bit further northward to encompass the entire area. But right now, it includes Brooke County, Ohio County, and I-70 counties and points south, as well as southwestern Pennsylvania under that flood watch for the upcoming weekend. Now we'll be watching streams and creeks. Again, the heaviest rain will be falling Saturday night into early Sunday morning. The Ohio River, of course, there's always a lag time when you get the heavier precipitation to when the river actually crests. And reminder what crest means, it means when it reaches its highest point. So that is going to occur as we head into Monday evening. That's when the Ohio River will rise due to the rain that we expect this weekend, and then it will continue to rise into Monday and then crest below flood stage right now, based on the latest projections here, by about 10 feet. So at this time, no flooding is anticipated along the Ohio River, but you will see some sharp rises into early next week, cresting around 26 feet in New Cumberland, 27 feet in Pike Island, in Wheeling, 28 feet. Flood stage there is 36 feet, and at Hannibal at 23 feet Monday evening. Now, I urge you, if you live along the Ohio River, just to keep an eye on things this upcoming weekend. As we all know, river forecasts are pretty fickle, and they can change dramatically. River forecasts are a lot more accurate once the rain event is over. So what goes into these river forecasts is a lot of model data. So if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. So if you're putting bad information in, the forecast is going to be a bad forecast. It becomes a lot more accurate once it stops using the model data and actually uses the rainfall data. So when we get the rain that has fallen, then we have a better idea of where the river will be headed. So keep an eye on updates for the weekend. At this time, not expecting any flooding. So here we go with Futurecast. This will walk you through the whole event, and you could see how that system will bring out heavy rain to the area here Saturday night, early Sunday. And then as the system shifts east, the winds pick up. See the isobars? They're going to be tightly packed. When you see isobars on a weather map like this, by the way, if I ever open up a bar, that would be the name of it. It would be the ISO bar. It would be hurricane. It would be serving hurricanes, dark and stormies, and everything else. But the name of my bar would be Jeff's ISO bar. So isobars are lines of equal pressure. So when you see isobars on a weather map tightly packed like this, that indicates that the winds are going to be strong. So look for the winds to pick up Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening as it turns colder, and notice how the rain changes to snow. We could, back this up a little bit. At least I could try to back it up for you here and just walk you through this a little bit. Whoa, what happened to it? There we are. But there you can see. So right now we got that high pressure in charge. And what's happening is, I was showing you the storm out west. And what's happening is Pacific air is going to overtake the country. And what we have in place right now is a cold air mass. We have a very cold air mass. It's cold out there today, of course. And what happens when you have milder air coming into a colder air mass? Cold air is more dense than warm air. So cold air sits close to the ground. And what happens is that milder air, instead of just pushing it out because it's dense, it's thicker, it comes up and over it. And anytime you cause a lift in the atmosphere, the little bit of rise, that lift generates the clouds and precipitation. So initially what we're going to see is that, that chance of snow breaking out in some areas, especially north of I-70. I don't think it's going to last too long, though, before daybreak Saturday, and then it changes on over to rain. So that's the first part of the storm system. And then we're going to see on and off rain Saturday afternoon. There can be a lull later in the afternoon Saturday. And then the heavier rain is going to be when this low pressure system approaches. So that's later Saturday night. That's when the heavier rain develops into early Sunday morning. And that low is going to be right on top of us. You're going to see your barometric pressure begin to fall. Then what will happen is we're going to see the low pressure system shift to the east here on Sunday. And as that occurs, that's when we're going to see the colder air collapse back in and the floodgates are open. And as I mentioned, those isobars indicating a tight pressure gradient, that's going to lead to some gusty winds upwards of 30 miles per hour. And again, on the backside of this system, we will deal with some snow. I think we could pick up some snow amounts around an inch or so Sunday, later in the afternoon through Sunday evening. So if you have plans to go anywhere Sunday evening, Sunday night, I think those roads can get a little slick. Keep in mind, we'll have a lot of rain before that. There can be some ponding of water. Now, the wind will help dry out the roadways, but there's some locations with standing water that will freeze up as we head into Sunday night as these temperatures really begin to drop. So we'll be shifting back into winter. Here's a look at the forecast. I could pull this up here for you so you can see it. There you go. Full sunshine today, high of 32 degrees. Nice looking day for this Valentine's Day. And if you're venturing out anywhere tonight, the weather will not cause you to have any problems whatsoever. Just in case you need a few weather pickup lines, I'm here for that as well. One of my favorite is it hot in here, or is that just a high pressure system rolling in? These are some of the Valentines I posted on my Facebook page. This one is a good one that you could use over the weekend. I'd totally share my umbrella with you if you want to. You're thinking of making some Valentine cards, and a good one for this morning, and then next week. You give me wind chills. So there's some Valentine related. I don't know if they're pickup lines, but Valentines for you on this Valentine's Day. Okay, so we talked about the weekend. Again, if you're just joining us, a touch of some snow Saturday morning, especially north of I-70, switching over to rain. I think this occurs before daybreak, and then it switches on over to rain. High of 43. The temperature will likely rise Saturday night again. So when you wake up Sunday morning, the temperature will be around 50 degrees. The heaviest rain will fall Saturday night into early Sunday morning. And then the winds pick up Sunday afternoon. Rain changes to snow as temperatures fall into the 30s. We fall below freezing into Sunday evening, down to 20 degrees Monday morning. So again, any standing water will ice back up here Sunday night. A lot of the wind will help dry out a lot of the roadways, but if we have some ponding water where water is just sitting somewhere, that is going to create icy spots Sunday night. And we could pick up an inch of snow on the backside of that storm as we head into Sunday evening. So, if you're headed out Sunday evening and first thing Monday morning, watch out for slick spots. Monday, President's Day, so a lot of kids may have the day off from school anyhow. We'll see a high temperature of 24, cold day with a few flurries and snow showers left over in the morning hours, down to 10 degrees Tuesday morning and a high of 22 on Tuesday. A low of 13 Wednesday morning. Now, let's keep an eye out for Wednesday, Thursday. More so, I think Thursday, there's going to be a system developing. This time, it'll be cold enough for all snow. The question is, where is the low pressure going to go? Is it going to be further east off the East Coast? We have little impact, a little bit of light snow. Is it a little bit further inland, further west, meaning we could have some heavier snow? Watch out, and if you're a snow lover, middle of next week, that could be your storm this year. But again, it's still a long ways out there. Still a lot of uncertainty. Do want to point out the average high this time of year is 40. Average low is 24. So you can see how much colder we are going to be next week, in the 20s for highs. This is where our average low is, and our low temperatures will be near 10 degrees next week. After next week, as we head into the following week, I think we will start to be turning a little bit more seasonal with highs around 40 or maybe even better. But next week is cold, no doubt about it. I was using the joke, roses are red, violets are blue. The polar vortex is coming to see you, and it's coming to see you next week because it is going to be very cold next week and could be snowy in the middle of the week. Let's keep an eye out, especially on Thursday. So a lot going on with the weather. A nice, enjoyable Friday today with nothing really going on whatsoever. Nice and sunny. So enjoy the sunshine today before the weather takes a turn. And if you are just tuning in again, we do have flood watches in effect for the weekend because we are expecting a lot of rain. I would expect somewhere between 1.5, 2 inches of rain over the weekend. The low end is an inch. I think at most is 2.5 inches. National Weather Service has a flood watch issued for a good chunk of the area. Now, those counties that aren't under the flood watch, that might change as become confident with some of the rainfall totals a little bit further north. But everyone's going to see a lot of rain this weekend. Streams and creeks, will be keeping an eye on those. Heaviest rain will be falling Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now, the Ohio River, for those of you who live up and down the Ohio River, well, that we'll watch that as well. But as of right now, based on the latest forecast, not expecting any flooding along the river. The river would crest, reaching its highest point. That's what crest means come Monday evening. There's always a lag between when the river crests and you get streams and creeks. The streams and creeks crest first, and then later that's when the Ohio River crests, and that would be as we head into Monday evening. As it stands now, no flooding anticipated, but as I mentioned, these river forecasts use model data, and if your model data is garbage, if it's way off, then the forecast is going to be way off as well. So a river forecast becomes a lot more accurate once it stops raining. So come Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, we will have a much better idea where the river will be cresting Monday evening. So just to give you a heads up on that. So check back in for updates, but cautiously optimistic that we will not see any flooding along the Ohio River, but the flood watches are in effect for streams and creeks. I also want to show you Daytona 500 is this upcoming weekend. You can see it on Fox 9. Race begins at 2:30 in the afternoon Sunday. And they could have there's a 40% chance of showers in the afternoon on Sunday at Daytona. But look at that temperature, 86. It will be breezy with a partly sunny sky. They'll have that cold front come through that area, bringing the threat for showers in the afternoon. It's going to be 86 there in Daytona, and they're going to cool down to a cold 64 the following day on Monday. But just wanted to show you the Daytona 500 forecast. Our forecast here, of course, a lot colder than that, but we will see a spike in the temperatures up near 50 degrees by Sunday morning with that rain, and then it turns windy and much colder into Sunday afternoon as those temperatures fall. Got a couple, one comment here from the Peanut Gallery. Let's see. Frederick saying, I need one more snowstorm, Jeff. So there you go, Frederick. We'll try to order you one up as we head into the middle part of next week. Don't let your guard down too. Sunday afternoon, evening, pick up an inch of snow. I don't know if I'd call that a storm, but the ground will get covered probably again as we head into Sunday night, and Monday morning. The ground will likely be coated in snow once again, and we'll keep an eye on more so Thursday, I think, next week for that potential for another system. And hey, it's still February, but March around here, it can deliver some big snows. We've had some big snows in March. The good thing is when you get into March, it'll typically last as long as they do on the ground as they do in January and February. But even April, we've seen some years in which April brings us snow. Most of the time, April does feature at least a little bit of snow. We average an inch and a half of snow in April. By that point, we really are tired of the snow, but sometimes it happens even into April. By the time we get to May, though, most of the time we don't see any snow unless it's very rare occasions. May, June, July, August, September, no snow. And then as we get into October, that's when we average a trace of snow again and go back towards winter, and then November and December. Okay, well, hopefully everyone has a great Valentine's Day and whatever kind of plans you have out there. I'm cooking in. I've got some heart-shaped pasta that I'll be making for dinner tonight. It's actually it's like a tortellini, I think, cheese filled. So I'll be making some of that. Got the heart-shaped pasta for dinner tonight. I'm working tomorrow morning and all day tomorrow, actually tomorrow evening too. So I'll be here tomorrow updating you on the weather as well. I'll try to throw in one of these probably tomorrow evening when I get a chance to do one of these live updates with the weather for the digital folks here on Facebook, YouTube, etc., or wherever you're watching. So that's the weather checkup. Have a great weekend, maybe a long weekend too for you, as it's a President's Day weekend. If you have Monday off, it could be a nice long weekend. I think this is the weekend we need to have the Super Bowl on Sunday, right? So a lot of people have the day after. I think the NFL is talking about that, actually. Okay, have a great weekend. I'll see you in a few minutes, about a half an hour on News 9 Midday with Bill Phillips. He'll have the latest news, and I'll have a recap of your forecast, and I'll take a look at some of the latest data coming in and see if I need to mend this forecast coming up at noon.